It's the story no one ever imagined would happen. A heartbreaking tragedy that brought one of the world's biggest boy bands back together. After years of silence, tension, and emotional distance, Zayn Malik and the remaining members of One Direction, Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, and Niall Horan, have reunited. But this reunion isn't about music, fame, or nostalgia. It's about grief, about loss, and about honoring someone who was once at the heart of it all, Liam Payne. This isn't just another celebrity headline. This is a story that's sending shockwaves through the music world. Fans who grew up watching One Direction rise to global superstardom are now grappling with the devastating news of Liam Payne's death and the emotional aftermath that has unexpectedly reunited the band that once defined a generation. When One Direction first burst onto the scene in 2010 after competing on the X Factor UK, no one could have predicted the phenomenon they would become. Harry, Liam, Louis, Neil, and Zayn, 5 young men from different corners of Britain and Ireland, captured hearts across the globe with their charm, harmonies, and boy-next-door appeal. But behind the laughter, world tours, and chart-topping hits, cracks were slowly forming. Fame had its cost, and not everyone could handle the pressure. In 2015, the unthinkable happened. Zayn Malik announced he was leaving the band. Fans were crushed. His statement at the time said he wanted to be a normal 22-year-old. But insiders whispered about tension and creative differences. Zayn later admitted in interviews that his relationship with some members, particularly Harry Styles, had become distant. The remaining 4 carried on as a quartet, releasing one final album, Made in the AM, before announcing an indefinite hiatus in 2016. What was once brotherhood had fractured into silence. Each member went on to pursue solo careers. Harry became a global superstar. Louis found solace in songwriting. Neil carved out his space as a pop-rock artist, and Liam explored a more experimental sound. Zayn, meanwhile, stayed largely out of the spotlight, his enigmatic personality keeping fans guessing. While there were occasional nods to nostalgia and mentions of each other in interviews, a full reunion seemed impossible. Until tragedy struck. Reports began circulating that Liam Payne had passed away unexpectedly. The details remain private, but those close to him describe a man who had struggled in recent years. Despite his fame, Liam had openly spoken about his battles with mental health and the pressures that came with global stardom. His death sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, but nowhere was the impact more profound than among the 4 men who once stood beside him on stage, night after night. Within days, Harry, Louis, Neil, and Zayn were spotted together for the first time in nearly a decade. It was a bittersweet reunion, not for a concert, but for a farewell. The band that had once sold out stadiums around the world now stood side by side in silence, mourning their friend and brother. Sources close to the group revealed that Zayn was one of the first to reach out after hearing the news. Despite the years of distance, he reportedly contacted each of the other members personally, expressing his shock and grief. Those who witnessed their reunion described it as emotional and healing, a moment where years of resentment melted away in the face of unimaginable loss. Whatever differences they had, one insider shared, they didn't matter anymore. Liam's death reminded them of what truly counted, their bond, their memories, and the time they shared together. In the days following Liam's passing, fans around the world flooded social media with tributes. Hashtags like #ThankYouLiam and #OneDirectionForever trended globally as millions shared clips, lyrics, and emotional messages. What made the moment even more powerful was seeing Zayn break his long silence about the band. In a heartfelt post, Zayn wrote, "Life is fragile. Sometimes it takes losing someone to remember what's truly important. Liam, you'll always be a part of me, a part of us. Thank you for every laugh, every late-night talk, and every memory. I'll carry you with me forever." The message struck a chord with fans who had long hoped for reconciliation. For years, the fandom had dreamed of the day Zayn and the rest of One Direction would reunite, but no one could have imagined it would come under such heartbreaking circumstances. Behind the scenes, the surviving members reportedly spent hours together, talking, reminiscing, and even listening to old demos they had recorded with Liam. Some sources claim that during one of these private gatherings, Zayn and Harry shared an emotional conversation, finally putting to rest years of tension and misunderstanding. It was a moment of closure, a friend close to them said. They realized that no argument, no ego, no pride is worth more than the bond they once had. There are even whispers that the band might honor Liam with a tribute performance, not a full reunion tour, but perhaps a one-night event to celebrate his life and legacy. Fans across the globe have expressed their hopes for such a tribute, believing it would be a fitting way to honor the man who helped define their youth. For many, this reunion serves as a reminder of the fleeting nature of fame and friendship. One Direction's story has always been about more than music. It's about brotherhood, about growing up in the spotlight, about love and loss. And now, through heartbreak, that story has come full circle. Even as fans continue to process the tragedy, there's a sense of unity once again among the fandom, a bittersweet hope that perhaps, in remembering Liam, the boys of One Direction might find a way to heal old wounds and reconnect with the legacy they built together. Zayn's return to the fold, even temporarily, marks a powerful emotional moment not just for the band, but for millions of people who grew up with their songs as the soundtrack to their lives. For years, it seemed impossible that they'd stand together again. But life has a way of reminding us what truly matters. As the world mourns Liam Payne, the image of Zayn, Harry, Louis, and Neil standing together once more has reignited something deep within fans. Not just nostalgia, but a renewed sense of gratitude for the moments One Direction gave us all. Maybe this reunion won't lead to new music or tours. Maybe it's simply about four men, once brothers, finding peace in each other again. But one thing is certain, through love, loss, and memory, One Direction will always remain united, even if it took heartbreak to bring them back together.